Nalmai Haramai, hello and welcome to the Edgar Centre in the Deep South. Cold and chilly. Second straight win to start the season took down the Northern Kahu 82-76. Sal's NBL ladder, here it is with 4 games to play, 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow. What we do know is the top 4 are all locked in, and we believe maybe even positionally the Nuggets will head up into second position. We'll talk more about that in a moment. The Saints are safe. They may finish 5th or 6th. The Hawks are the big one right now. They play later tonight.
Well, it's all in their own hands. They have the ability to send themselves into the top 6 or open that door for the Nelson Giants to sneak back in.
And if the Hawks do lose tonight, a win for the Giants tomorrow over the Sharks will take the Nelsonians to the Sal's NBL Final 6. They're the games coming up, and of course it finishes the regular season tomorrow night with the Sunday sesh, the Tuatara up against the Wellington Saints. I can tell you that that game, in fact, will be played out at Pullman Arena. Is that correct?
That is correct, at Pullman Arena on Sunday. I've got it on my schedule. I'll be driving out. Definitely won't be going to the event finder, so anybody's going to it, don't go there either.
Well, let's have a look at the Airs starters for this one tonight. Coming off that big win over the Giants, Roger, Hilliard, Ray, Davison, Rosetto. The big news here is they all played well on Thursday night. Anzac Rosetto in particular.
Played well, possibly the game of the season for Anzac Rosetto. There was a level of freedom to the offense that we have rarely seen from Taranaki this season. You know, I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, but it's unfortunate that this squad was only able to come together a bit too late in the season. Otherwise, they had Final 6 written all over them.
Let's have a look at the home team, the Nuggets starters, and of course still no Ja'Cory McLaughlin. Doubtful we will see him next week, but I do like the balance of this starting unit.
It's a very talented squad. Ty Webster has slipped right into that role of Ja'Cory McLaughlin, plus possibly a bit more defense and a bit more playmaking. But other than that, that is a long, athletic lineup, especially on the defensive end when they're locked in. Very difficult for offensive teams to find any kind of flow.
Well, when you throw one of our Sky Sport microphones in amongst a couple of coaches, you are never quite sure what is going to happen. And just moments ago, the 2 coaches tonight, Brent Matahari and Trent Adam, they decided to interview each other. Let's see how it went.
Mana wātia Matariki, kia ora koutou, kia ora Trent, no mai haere mai ki Otapoti.
Kia ora.
The year, you know, it's been a tough one for you, obviously last game tonight.
Yeah, I suppose injuries early on and not having a full squad sort of got us behind the 8 ball, and we've been a lot happier with how we've been performing over the last few weeks as far as playing a style of basketball that we think best represents us. But yeah, a slow start really sort of hurt us there.
Yeah.
Yourself, obviously securing a spot a couple of weeks ago, I suppose getting that balance right about winning games but also wanting to perform for next week. How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the focus this week, making sure we're working on our stuff and, you know, obviously looking forward to next week. And, you know, it seems like we've got ourselves a couple more days off thanks to the Rams.
Yes, and I'm sure that helps as far as, you know, looking after the bodies this time of the year, and everybody's got some niggles. So good luck for tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, and, you know, enjoy.
Thank you.
The Sal's NBL, Casey, is full of firsts and innovative differences. Will we see that again? 2 coaches interviewing each other before a game.
I just found myself 15 minutes on game day. The coaches are now having a chin wag to each other prior to game as we take a look at the head-to-head presented by the TAB, sponsor of statistics here in the Sal's NBL. Look at the difference in the win streak. It's been a streaky year for the Nuggets. 7 wins to start, 4 wins in the middle, now 4 wins again. Leading scorer Michael Harris, when he gets hot, he might have the hottest hand in the competition. Kendrick Ray has been a revelation since he's joined the squad for the Airs. But to me tonight, it's all about that rebounding game. Carlton Davidson has been excellent jumping in there, but you see, not a strong rebounding team, especially from one player. Sam Timmons has a chance to go out there and dominate on the glass. If the Nuggets win that possession game, they'll walk away with this one as well.
So there's the head-to-head with thanks to the TAB, official stats partner of the Sal's NBL. Coin officials for this one tonight, Matthew Bathurst, Hamish Dale and Corey Hogg. Not too far away from a start, the Nuggets and the Airs about to do battle. Now, the big thing with regards to the Final 6 and the ladder, Casey, is regardless of the result tonight, once everything is squared away at the completion of round 15, the Nuggets team will actually jump up above the Rams on head-to-head, whether it's between those two or even a three-way tie with the Bulls. They will go into second. They're straight through to the semi-finals. What we know right now is the top four positionally is locked in. Tuatara number 1, Nuggets number 2, Rams number 3, Bulls number 4, and we can probably even extend that to number 5. No, we can't, because the Hawks have head-to-head on the Saints.
That's correct. So if it's a three-way tie between, as we see an injury there with Ja'Cory McLaughlin on the bench, but if there would have been a three-way tie, there could have been some hijinks there at the back. It can't be a three-way tie now. If the Hawks win, they're in. If they lose and Nelson's wins, they are in 6th position. So that is what up for grabs now. Hawks have a chance to slip into that 5th spot if the Wellington Saints lose, because they have that count back there. So still a little bit of determination, but we've got those top 4 locked in, and the Nuggets are certainly looking forward to the extra rest that's given with that top 2 seed, as are the Auckland Tuatara.
Young man coming out in the baby blue to present the molten ball. Love how this happens up and down the country in the Sal's NBL. Look at this young bloke. A memory for him, a little bit of a smile there, which is good, and Anzac Rossetto is always ensuring that the photo will be something to remember. Just noting a minute ago, Casey, when we did get that shot of the Nuggets bench, really the first time in 6 to 8 weeks that we've seen the severity of Ja'Cory McLaughlin's injury. That is a heavy brace down his left leg.
Well, it's an immobilizer as opposed to anything else. Can't get that straightened out. As we see jump ball go off, Sam Timmons gets control for the Nuggies, but that we've seen him moving freely up to this point, so it's a bit of a surprise to see that there now.
First shot of the game is a sweet shot off the hands of Ty Webster. Opening points tonight to the Nuggets.
Going to be interesting to see how aggressive the Nuggets come out of this one, how much of themselves they put right off the bat. They'd want to be sending this season home on a high and taking this victory from the Airs, despite how close the two coaches are.
Averaging 20 points a game since coming in, Ty Webster. Kendrick Ray replies with a little floater.
And this has a feel of a high-scoring game between these two squads. Going to see a lot of offense on display, I think.
Here's Michael Harris, 22 points a game. We know how productive he can be. Sam Timmons undecided. Can't get it to withers. Shot clock going down. He'll be forced to shoot. Back of the iron. Loose ball. McCulloch keeps it alive and gets on the drive. Deep on the shot. Davison, his first rebound of the night. He's actually the #1 rebounder for the Airs.
Yeah, it's been a big in for them. He's helped them in a lot of areas, especially on defense and in that possession game.
Here he is going to work. Carlin Davison over Webster. Short on the shot. Picked up Webster.
Nice D by Webster, giving up some size there, but an excellent post defender in his own right.
Gets on the drive, draws the foul, and Ty Webster will head to the TAB for the first time tonight. Good crowd in attendance, still coming in. Seeing their Nuggets for the last time this season before they head to Auckland next week for the final 6. It all tips off on Thursday night. 5 games across 4 nights at Trust's Arena. Tickets on sale now. And of course, no matter where you are, you'll be able to watch it live on Sky Sport. Ty Webster at the TAB. Join the TAB, deposit $10, get a free $50 bonus bet. T's and C's apply, R18, and of course, bet responsibly.
Well, if you were a betting man, you would have been hard-pressed to think Ty Webster was going to miss 2 there. Had a chance to get to 5, but the sloppy turnover by Kendrick Ray in response gets them right back in the hands of the Nuggets.
Here's McCulloch, another mid-season injury. Well picked up in the end by Webster under some pressure from Ray. Harris is active defensively. Timmons underneath. Nice work.
Nice action there. The handoff first from McCulloch to Harris, and then coming off that on ball. Really difficult with all that movement between the defenders, especially when you have a big who can catch and finish like that.
First points tonight for Big Slam and Sam. Richie Roger was very good on Thursday night, and he started well this evening.
It really does just look like the last week he's got a little bit of freedom in his back. He's been struggling with injury for a lot of this season, hasn't been able to perform up to the level with consistency that he did a season ago, but that game against the Nelson Giants, it was really reminiscent of how he was hitting those big shots for the Taranaki Airs in their playoff push just last year.
Been a huge day of basketball on Sky Sport. Ta'ihi action, Rapid League action. Hoiho, what a start to the season they've had. They get their opening Sky Broadband Rapid League win against the Kahu and then take the same team down in To'ihi. Foul there, and Withers will head to the strike to look at 3. Southern Hoiho, what a start for them.
Well, just flipping the ladder on its head from a season ago. The Hoiho really struggled to beat just about anybody, and especially on that offensive end, could never really muster up enough pressure to keep the opposition honest. Ending up out of that Final Four, but they are a different squad this year. Have recruited well, especially in the import spots. The local talent, majority thereof, remains the same. It's been great to see Samara Gallagher step up, but they're looking early now like a championship favorite with an MVP contender in Ashton Precton.
Absolutely. Zoe Richards sliding across to the 4 has helped a lot as well. Withers converts 2, make it 3 from 3 for Todd Withers, who you would think is going to figure in some capacity in next week's Sal's NBL Season Awards. We'll have to wait and see. More news on that as we head into the final 6. Hilliard, 1 dribble, shoot, in and out. Timmins rebound.
Decent defense. Interested to see how quickly the Nuggets get up the court and try and push this transition game on the airs.
Here's Withers. Active, steps around Richie Roger. Good start tonight for Todd Withers.
Tough matchup for Richie Roger there. The size he's giving up to Todd Withers, especially in that post, it's going to make it really difficult to defend him with any kind of ease.
Early 5-point lead to the Nuggets. Richie Roger drags that back to 2.
Shooting with such confidence this week. It's almost like he's a different jump shot leaving the hand.
Speaking of jump shots, Ty Webster short on that one. Richie Roger takes it in hand, gets up quickly and has a look ahead. Sends it back to Anzac Rosetto. Did hit a triple the other night, didn't he?
He's got the ability to, but thinks better of it there.
Davison up and under. Did all the hard work.
Well, he's so athletic and he goes up, but he goes up and avoids the contact. I'd like to see him find that contact and finish through it to get to that next level of player he can be.
Webster goes sliding off the miss. Kendrick Ray quickly up into the corner. Catch and shoot. Hilliard.
Well, that's a good break. I love the pass by Ray, but look at Michael Harris coming back. Look at the speed.
Wasting no time. Leaves it short. Now Hilliard will do the same.
Well, we are going to be up and down in the Edgar Center today.
Kendrick Ray on the spin. What a finish.
Oh, they are putting pressure on defenses to get back on the other side of half court. Look at this. 1 dribble up. Kicks it ahead. He takes that little 2 dribble move, and what a spin move at the elbow. Picks it up and spins. That is a big step to get yourself to the glass for the kiss on a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play at the TAB.
Both teams motoring up and down the boards midway through the first quarter tonight, all tied up. Hawks and Jets to come. Can the Jets be the party spoilers for the Hawke's Bay Hawks?
Well, they certainly have the ability to. And they're gonna. It's always better to finish the season on a win than a loss. It's like your own little mini championship.
I don't know the attitude of the Jets as well. They will be out to deflate the party balloons at Pettigrew Green Arena. Block is called there against Darcy Knox. Good to see him back in the Nuggets lineup tonight. He's been out ill for a couple of weeks.
And he just got a little early from the side there trying to take that block. And looks like they might have been discussing a flop as well, which I didn't look like there was enough contact to really send him down as aggressive as it was. And then when he tripped Roger up, there was no choice but to blow that whistle on the contact.
Here's Kendrick Ray, Quinton Bailey into the action as well, providing some coverage. Can't get it to go. Big Jack Andrew, his first touch of the game as well. Here's McCulloch searching. Knox out. Harris, front of the iron. Bailey rebound. Here come the airs again. Kendrick Ray. And that one will get called a charge. Seat well fet. Feet well set, I should say. Not seat well fed. Michael Harris.
Well, he reads it well. Look at him just jump. He just saw that left to right. It was on the spin move prior on his teammate a couple of plays ago, so he knows he's trying to get back to that right hand. He reads it well, jumps the play, wears it well on his chest, and we're going the other way with just about after halfway through the first quarter.
Scoring has just dried up the last 90 seconds. Maybe Jack Andrew can change that. He can. Draws the foul. The and one from the TAB coming up.
Well, not a lot of contact in that one, but enough to get the whistle. Good patient offense. Jack Andrew sets a good solid screen and gets to his scoring position with the ability to finish with that soft touch and a chance for three at the TAB.
Here is big Jack Andrew. First one goes down, 70% from the TAB. Gets the bonus. Takes the margin out by 2. Richie Roger. Quentin Bailey steps back to his left, up and over the top.
Quentin Bailey has taken advantage of that quickness he has at the 5 spot the last few weeks. He checks in. The first touch is always a quick attack against the player who is used to guarding the slower Anzac Rosetto.
It's been a lot of fun to watch this season, Quentin Bailey. There's Harris, tries to push it down to Jack Andrew, and no centre loves to see the ball come with their feet.
There isn't a player who plays big on the planet who wants that ball underneath his knees. That even if you can get there, it's a lot of work. A lot of work to get that low.
There's Davison. Opportunity. Block was good by Withers, but the putback by Davison just as good.
Well, good recovery off the screen by Withers, but the stick-to-itiveness of Carlin Davidson is rewarded.
Withers to answer. Deep. Andrew, big push in the back on Davison, gets spotted.
And just a tough angle there. When you've got that much mass on the player that's trying to box you out, it doesn't take much of a hit to send the guy to the ground. And he might have tweaked an ankle at the same time, so kind of a double whammy. Tweak the ankle, get hit from behind. The contact looks maybe a bit worse than it is, but it doesn't look like Carlin Davison was in there any better off for the encounter.
Well, he doesn't even make it back to his seat. So we'll keep an eye on that. Still sitting on the sideline at the moment. Armon Fletcher into the game. First shot not too far away.
Well, both teams have started settling for the jump shot. We saw some attacks on the rim and wide open looks early. Now they're just kind of going about their business and taking what's given.
Harris off the glass.
Good exploratory dribble getting down there, and Quentin Bailey not enough defensive resistance to deter that look.
His first points of the game, Michael Harris, Richie Roger, around 1, around 2, and look who's waiting for it, Armon Fletcher.
A good cut by Fletcher, better find by Richie Roger on the steps and the drop-off.
Knox. Didn't know at first it was coming his way from Harris. Here's Withers on the turnaround. He's trying to find his range tonight. And Jack Andrews copped a little bit of a knock on the head. Quentin Bailey will go into the book with the foul.
Anzac Rosetto going to check back in the ball game. As Taranaki has felt their way into this 2-point lead. 3 minutes in, and not a lot of scoring the last 2 minutes or so after it was a pretty up and down affair early.
TAB stat sheet, Richie Roger, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist to start tonight. The Airs captain. More To'ihi action tomorrow as well with the Pauakai up against the Phi. First time this season we get to see those two teams.
Going to be exciting for them to be able to kick things off and pick up where the other teams have been playing at such a high level early.
Fletcher, Hilliard. Quick look is a good look for Anthony Hilliard.
Had a nice look earlier in that one, but he's been continuing shooting. Hasn't found that level of efficiency from a season ago, but still a potent score.
Shooting at 30% will be on the arc this season. Timmins wrapped up, now gets some space on Rosetto, up on the left.
Oh, that's a nice bit of skill. Going to the left hand and the step through. Good footwork as well. I would have liked to see him look at the rim on the initial catch. Might have had easier work to be done.
Hilliard, 2 from 2. Yes, indeed.
And that's how you beat the zone. You hit it into the teeth, make it collapse, and then find the shooters on the outside or hit those cutters on the low post. Really nice spacing in that set.
And that's a dangerous sign right there for the Nuggets. If Anthony Hilliard can get going. Harris looked to pull it up, decided to go one more dribble and draws the foul.
It looked like he might have been thinking about the pass over the top to Timmins there when he comes back off this on ball on the handoff. But then he heals the body of Rossetto, finds it well, gets himself to the TAB for a couple of attempts.
Shooting at 80% from the stripe this season. The first one goes down. As coach Brent Matahari headed back to the playoffs. Championship coach at the Showdown in 2020. Championship coach in the Sal's NBL.
What a run.
Last year.
What a run he's had these last three years. Since the Nuggets have come back into the league and just become the strongest they've been in their history. Multiple titles in the last couple of seasons. Especially that impressive run last year.
Telfer draws the foul. And if anybody thinks that the Nuggets can't do it all again next week, I'm telling you now, you're kidding yourself.
That would be incorrect. To me, there's the two favorites at the top, and everybody else is trying to find their way and see if they can't dent that armor somewhat. But I feel it's the field against those top two right now.
Well, those top two, of course, made the grand final last year, talking of the Nuggets and the Tuatara, and they came from positions outside of the top two.
Yeah, absolutely right. Coach Brent Matahari corrected me last time I had this conversation when he was watching, so I'm not going to have it when he's not listening. But the Nuggets finished 3rd seed last year, Tuatara 4th, and that's who ended up in the title game.
5-point margin at the moment for the Airs. Had a good start tonight. Bardsley bustling his way through.
Tough finish with the left. Nice defense by Fletcher.
Hilliard on the pass. That's come off the boot of Josh Aitchison.
Seen a bit of a scoring flurry to finish in this last minute and 10 seconds or so as Taranaki has found a lot of space on this side of the court. Has a little bit to be desired in the, let's say, sort of kill or die mentality on the defensive end for the Nuggets when they're at their best defensively.
Here's Rossetto, Timmins, 1 against 1, and Rossetto gets the win. Had 30 points on Thursday night against the Giants.
Turnabout's fair play. Came a similar move right back at Timmins that Timmins used earlier. Just less of a running hook and more of a jump shot on the spin.
Bardsley back to his left on the spin now. Nowhere to go, except he does find a little bit of space. Wins it back himself. He's come out in an aggressive mood, hasn't he? Aitchison up fake, stepping around, looking back for the slippery eel.
Well, Matt Bardsley has become an interesting player for this Nugget squad off the bench. His sort of tweener skills. He's got some dribbling skills, some big man rebounding skills, and some excellent multi-positional defensive skills. Has made him a pretty tough cover, especially with his freedom he has offensively with the ball in hand.
And can get up.
Decent athlete, no doubt about it.
So late in the first here, Saturday evening action in the Sal's NBL. Hawks and Jets to come straight after this. Andrew Mulligan back from a little bit of a vacation.
Oh, calling him out.
He doesn't mind that.
I don't know. He's a hard-working man. Maybe he was working on something secret. He wasn't working.
He had his feet up. His arm on Fletcher.
Gonna have to really, gonna have to lock him down on a lot of basketball activity in his absence this last couple of weeks.
He's got a big week coming up as well at the final 6. Of course, he'll be in action all the way through with your good self. But Rusco also joining us next week.
Strong finish to the corner by Taranaki defensively. They found some freedom of offense, but have locked down the clamps on the other end.
McCulloch, the miss. Hilliard again on his roller skates. Up the floor. Looks hectic at times, doesn't it? But it is effective.
And that's nice spacing there, using that hesitation to let that screener come in, and then coming right off the tail to find that 17-footer with a lot of space because of that physical screen.
I think the Airs at full strength, Casey, is a team we wish we had have seen all season.
No doubt about it. They've got a lot of versatility on this squad, not only in how they can score, but how they can defend. They can go big, they can go small. They're certainly a physical team, and there's a high level of athleticism on the court as well. And they're starting to find their eye shooting the ball. It just looks like maybe a week or two late.
Both teams still have their Sky City player timeout in the first half. Rossetto for 3. That one too deep. Harris rebound. We're down to 8-7. He looks up, he sees the clock, he knows he's got a little bit of time, enough to do that. And it's well short. Gee, Robbie Coleman nearly flicked it back in for Timmins. But after the first one tonight, it is the visitors. The Taranaki Airs out to a flyer. They're up by 11. Hope you're enjoying it. All the basketball action in the sky, in the Sal's NBL, I should say, right here on Sky Sports. Second quarter, not too far away. Welcome back to the Edgar Centre tonight. Sal's super special for round 15, the Nonna or 5 boroughs pizza, $25 each. Pick up only. The online code is BLOCK, available through to next Wednesday, and they sure do look tasty. One quarter down tonight, 4-time Sal's NBL champ Casey Frank with me. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I was thinking about the 5 boroughs because I saw the pizza, but in this one, we're seeing a lot of free-flowing offense right now. That one comes up a little bit short, but Taranaki really looking good, pushing that pace, taking that first available look with a lot of nice motion. To me, the Nuggets don't look locked in 100% defensively right now. They've really let the Taranaki get a lot of free and easy looks, especially on the interior, where they're 8 for 11 shooting the ball at 72% inside the three-point arc.
Ty Webster over the top of Kendrick Ray. The ladder with the rebound. Has been a welcome addition to this Airs unit. Rosetto, 11 of 13 shooting on Thursday night against the Giants. It's going to be an offensive foul on Armon Fletcher, who politely argues his case.
Well, it can't be an argument if it's polite. Just pleading it?
Can't you argue politely?
No, I can't. That's not my skill. In or out, one or the other.
Do your kids argue politely?
No, they do not. They have just acorns off the old tree, no doubt about it.
Underway in the second term tonight. Great to see such a turnout for the Hoi Hoi and the Nuggets. Down south, out of play. Fletcher unable to keep that one in. Hawks or Jets tonight, Casey? Don't sit on the fence.
I think it's going to be the Hawks. I think they've found a bit of form, especially on their home court of late. The Jets certainly capable of it. I would not be surprised if they pulled something out, but the Hawks have something to play for their playoff seasons. That should bring out just enough intensity to get it done.
Webster on the turnaround. Delightful looking shot.
Nice footwork. Look how much space he creates on that step back turnaround, really making it a near unblockable shot.
No Ethan Rusbatch again tonight for the Hawks, by the way. Hasn't bothered them the last 2 weeks. With wins, Hilliard, another triple.
And this last week in that big win, certainly influential the game before that.
Sam Timmins.
A good read. I was looking at the screen, but then just jumped it early. Cuts through and shows his ability above the rim. Great size, solid athlete, good finish.
Always a crowd pleaser, the entertaining Sam Timmins. Ray leaves it short, gets it back. Timmins reaching down, commits the foul.
Not an easy rebound. Getting around McCulloch to get his hands on it. And created enough space, nice runner. And then fights off two rebounders to get his hands in, and Sam Timmins pretending like his arm didn't hack. Kendrick Ray as the ball was in hand. No, I hit it and then my arm was straight up, so that counts.
I think you'll find that was a hack with a capital H. Hilliard 11 points in the game for the Airs, leading the way at the moment. Kendrick Ray misses the first. He's got 5 points so far tonight. Second one is good to go. And that 11-point margin has been re-established. Ty Webster gearing up for the playoffs. He looks good, doesn't he? Active, back of the iron, doesn't get the drop. Timmins keeps it alive to McCulloch. He can't put it down either, so some early misses here in the second.
Ball's not doing a lot of work for the Nuggets consistently as Harris takes that one fly. Nice offensive rebounding now, but move that ball to side, make the defense react. They're just trying to hammer nails through the hole right now. And ooh, a tough call on the travel. That looked like excellent footwork to me.
It almost looked like the coin official had a signal up to call a foul at first and then changed mid-fly.
Don't blame Sam Timmins for a great move, baby. He just left him in the dust, 2 fingers and peace.
Didn't look much wrong with that, did it? Anyway, the Airs get it back. Kendrick Ray here. Fletcher trying to get free of Michael Harris. Harris shooting 1 of 6 so far tonight. Step back, Fletcher, big triple.
That's a nice bit of skill displayed there. Gives that range, hand down, man down. 3 points for Fletcher.
He has 7. McCulloch responds.
Well, finally finding the range. Kendrick Ray goes underneath that screen, and Sam Timmins closes it off well, giving McCulloch a lot of space to line that one up and drop it in the net.
His first points of the contest, Nico McCulloch, averaging 10.5 points a game so far this season. Kendrick Ray.
I love that hezzy dribble at 15, like he's about to attack, forces the defender to get on the heels, and then he just pulls up for the wide open 15-footer.
McCulloch just hands it off to Todd Withers.
Too easy for Withers, lines it up, drops it down, looking smooth on his limited access to the ball today.
8 in the game tonight. Todd Withers, 42% from three-point land this season. Here he is, up with the rebound. Harris to the running Webster.
That's a beautiful break. Really nicely done, getting that ball up the wing while Webster runs that middle lane, using that burst of speed to give himself a finishing angle.
And the scoring opens up in the second. Fletcher can't finish. McCulloch. Harris now on the move. Pulls up, shoots, leaves it short. Oh, what a tip in by Withers.
Oh, I love that play by Withers. He knew his teammate was going to get it. It doesn't matter when you're a gunner. If you're going to let it fly, let it fly. Your teammates know what's happening. Withers lines it up on the glass, gets the tip, has the slick fade, freshly showing sides, and a freshly earned 2-point bucket on the boards.
Has 10 in the game all of a sudden, Todd Withers. Back-to-back baskets. And this is a bit of a run here now by the Nuggets. They bring it back to 6. Team merch. There's the QR code on screen. Don't forget, for all your Sal's NBL gear. I'm pretty sure you might find some GJ Gardner Homes Toihi not too far away either. The New Balance online shop. Go and have some fun. Been an impressive fight back the last 90 seconds or so by the Nuggets.
Yeah, a little 7-0, a 7-2 run there to get themselves back within touch distance. Just 2 baskets in it right now if they come from deep, and more impressive activity on the defensive end as well. Have started to be the determiner of Taranaki's action instead of letting Taranaki's offense determine what they want to do. They're forcing him into position, hand up on those deeper shots, and taking away some of those looks on the interior that were coming with such frequency in the first quarter.
One thing to look for tonight, if you're a Nuggets fan, is Joe Ahi must step on the court tonight and play in this game to qualify for next week's final 6. Of course, you need to play 5 games to qualify, and playing a game means stepping on the floor. We saw that with Corey Webster last night for the Rams, carrying a bit of a niggle, and he had to play that game, so he did step out for all of 2 seconds.
Well, nice reaction there by Sam Timmons on a broken play, still able to get the block the second time around.
McCulloch off target. Ray ends up now with Roger. Opens up for him. Timmons is there, but so too Quentin Bailey.
Well, Timmons kicks himself out of the rebounding activity by trying to challenge that layup, and Bailey reads that, gets the tip. Might have gone in either way, but always good to make sure.
Good to see Carlin Davison back on the floor. Taking it, Withers. Bang on target, just left it short.
Bailey closed that space well, used the size of Timmons to close it by getting really physical with the screener, making that a more difficult shot.
Midway through the second, Kendrick Ray, deep 2. Gee, he's got a lovely shot, hasn't he?
It looks so smooth. He gets to his spot and has that ability to elevate and negate the defensive efforts of whoever's on him.
Of course, for a number of these players, thinking about their next contract as they continue to travel around the world. Timmons using that footwork that we've become accustomed to seeing.
Had it on the first one, decided to go one more dipsy-do on the spin. Gets it on the second. Good if it gets there eventually, as Timmons is starting to heat up. Oh, thinking about it.
Gee, it was a hot pass for Davison, wasn't it? We all just momentarily gathered our breath.
A lot of mustard on that hot dog, a little difficult to pull down, but Carlin Davis, I think, just took his eye off it, was lining up those steps so he could put up a highlight. Unfortunately, goes the other way. Still 8 points the difference, as Taranaki has seemed to settled a little bit since that last time out.
And Casey, what's important for the Nuggets tonight? What do they need to get out of this game before they head to Auckland and Trust Arena next week?
Health. That is the only thing. Look, this is a team who knows where they are. Sure, it'd be nice to keep that winning streak going on, but the number one important thing is to get through this effort with no niggles, certainly no major injuries. So you want to win, you want to do your best to do that, but your mind's on a bigger goal at this point in time. Nothing else to play for in this particular game other than that.
I think we've had a technical called here. So Nico McCulloch is going to step up to the line, or Bardsley is, so maybe it's an unsportsmanlike. We'll have a look at that and check it for you. Bardsley at the TAB. Doesn't get it to go. And he'll get another one here, and then possession will go the way of the Nuggets. Second one does drop.
He drops it in. And now possession in the half court.
The Nuggets started the season, Casey, with a 7-game winning streak. They've won 4 in a row here. Dare I say it, if they get to another run of 7 wins, you know what that means, don't you?
That means Titletown.
Telfa on the long court pass, puts it away. McCulloch up quickly, pulls up from inside the TAB, and he nails that one.
Oh, he loves that shot. That's his skill. He loves pulling that one together.
That unsportsmanlike before, by the way, was called on Richie Roger. Big play from the airs. Telfa thought he was fouled. Ray looking to set him up. Withers now, quickly on the move, sends it out to Darcy Knox. In and out of the paint, Harris, he won't knock back a look. Deep 2 for him.
Loves that rhythm dribble, gets to that 19-foot area and elevates and shows that streaky stroke that is starting to find the net here in the second quarter.
Margin at 5. Kendrick Ray slows it down, calls out Bailey. It's enough for him to step around and drain another triple.
Well, I'm over here thinking maybe get a little bit more offense. Kendrick Ray knows better. Comes up the screen, lines it up. Another triple from deep.
He has 13. Withers, he's going to continue to fire away as well.
Not a lot of offense created there. He had a bit of space to get it off and certainly the confidence to shoot it.
Great hands. Michael Harris quickly up the floor. Withers pumps it down with the right.
Well, great finish, but that's a great pass by Harris. Right on the money, able to find the distance over defenders after picking up the loose ball.
The Nuggets fans suitably entertained Kendrick Ray.
At the left. Would have been a tough finish. Unable to get it. Nuggets coming back.
Downtown, Darcy Knox.
The rebounders following that one. Maybe not expected, or maybe a bit of wind leaving the sails as they're up and down take its toll.
Going at 44% from three-point land. Darcy Knox this season doesn't take too many looks. Hilliard, he adds two, and that'll be a timeout. A couple of minutes to play in this first half tonight. Been entertaining between the Airs and the Nuggets. The Nuggets, of course, in their final preparations before heading to Trust Arena next week for the final six, where they'll be joined by the Tuatara, the Rams, the Bulls, the Saints, and either the Hawks or the Giants.
It all comes down first to the night. If the Hawks get that win, they take control of the destiny out of the hands of the Nelson Giants and take it upon themselves. And will find themselves in the final six. If they stumble at that last hurdle of the season, the Giants will have a chance to seal a postseason berth for themselves tomorrow with the win against the Southland Sharks. So a lot on it this evening, Justin.
Of course, the final six tips off on Thursday. Before that, you can join us on Wednesday night for Sal's Hoopheads. There's going to be a lot to talk about on next week's show. The start of the To'ihi season, the new Sky Broadband Rapid League, that's been fun. Of course, we'll be talking Sal's NBL finals and season award winners as well. That'll all be announced next week.
It's going to be announced next week, and I think we might have an exclusive announcement coming through on the Hoopheads show on Wednesday night, so make sure you tune in. Got to work out the details, though, and see who wins what.
Casey Frank comeback, is that the exclusive?
That would be a heck of an exclusive. The non-existent ones are the rarest.
Back underway. Ty Webster looking good in those flashy lime green fluorescent kicks tonight. Here he is searching, big step back, leaves Ray behind. Pass inside to Coleman was excellent. He couldn't finish. Ray now receives from Hilliard. Puts Knox on his backside. Can't deliver the three. Kept in play by Webster. Smart.
Great save there off the tip ball by Andrew on the weak side.
And Harris will be rewarded at the other end. That all started with Ty Webster, and he knows it.
And there's just no gear underneath the top speed for Michael Harris. He is woe or he is go. And when he is putting pressure on the rim, he has really a knack for getting those defenders, chopping those feet back, falling off balance, and he takes advantage of it once again there in the layup.
Moves to 8 points. The Australian shooting guard now at 9. About to head back to the Perth Wildcats for the Aussie NBL season. Of course, the Otago Nuggets and the Perth Wildcats are linked up through ownership, and we're certainly starting to see the benefits of that.
Yeah, it's been a great two-way street. Both clubs really getting a lot out of the relationship as the kickball is called. Maybe ball on the side, reset that shot clock to 14. And Taranaki will try and build on this 5-point lead from the sideline out of bounds as a few starters check back into the game for the Nugs.
Here's Kendrick Ray. He's been very good in this first half. Telfer. Hilliard, so quick on the release. He's already hit a few tonight.
That's a good set, a lot of action, freed him up nicely. Just unable to find the range.
The news on Friday, of course, in the Sal's NBL was the suspension of Darnay Samuel. Timmins finally forces a foul. In fact, I think that news may have come out on Thursday. And he won't be playing for the Saints tomorrow night against the Tuatara. Copped a 2-game suspension and $750 fine. Took the early plea on both. And the end result is he'll miss 1 game and he's 350 lighter in the hip pocket.
Yeah, multiple charges he faced in front of the tribunal, but will be a sigh of relief from the Saints as Sam Timmons misses the first from the TAB, as the Saints will be very pleased with when Donnie Samuel's at his best. It is a different
Frightening
engine for that Saints squad. His ability as a multi-positional offensive player, really impressive.
McCulloch missed. Look at Timmons battling for it. Loose ball now. Bardsley had it, lost it. Davison a hand. McCulloch in the end.
Timmons misses too, but the hustle creates an opportunity for McCulloch to get there. Now just one shot, the difference in this one, as well as Taranaki has played. The nudge right there.
Davison held down by one arm.
Did the work without the basketball. That's what I love to see. Just get down there, use your physicality, seal them off deep inside the paint when you get that catch. Nothing fancy to do with it. Straight up, and if you can't, if not, to the line with that contact.
Seems like every week for the past month or two we've talked about the prospects of Carlin Davison and perhaps a development contract with an Australian NBL team. If you are running an Aussie NBL team, heaven help us to start off with, but if you are, Casey, are you going to give him a go?
I would. I've been really impressed with him, especially considering his age. And as we see another triple there from Harris, finding the range once again and getting the nuggies right back in this one. But the way he's been developing Carlin Davidson the last couple of years, it's been a really big trajectory. And I just think with that level of that lift and professionalism, he can really find another level as a player.
Here come the Nuggets. Oh, the pass. McCulloch a little bit too deep for Matthew Bardsley.
I think just mistimed or misunderstood what he was throwing there. Bardsley thinking it's coming straight to him. He looks for the lob and ends up in a turnover. Now a chance for Taranaki to build on the lead heading into the sheds at halftime.
Both teams still have their Sky City player timeout. In fact, the Airs have just used theirs as Richie Roger turns to the coin officials. And they'll have a quick chat for 30 seconds.
Got to use it or lose it, so might as well really work out what you're trying to run in a good amount of time left, 9 seconds, plenty of time to get a good look. But if you're in the Nuggets huddle, the key is, hey, any time left on that clock, you get a rebound, you call it immediately. So we go down the other way. So really important for Taranaki to make sure that this shot's going up with a second and a half left, maybe time for a tip-in, but nothing other than that.
Sky City player timeout, and of course the ticket to the big game. Great to see so many thousands of tickets given away this season, with thanks to Sky City. Roger along the baseline finds Hilliard, leaves it short, gets it back. Rossetto, can he add? Oh, Davison. Well, that's exactly what you were just talking about, Casey Frank, with regards to Carlin Davison. An opportunity, you give the young man a chance to grow and develop, because we are seeing him get better and better every time we turn the TV on.
Yeah, great finish to the play there. Excellent execution. I love the way they left no time on the clock, going up 4 after a potent offensive display by both teams here in the first half down in the Edgar Center in Dunedin.
Well, they've led by as much as 14 through that first half, but at the long break, that margin sits at 4. Quality game, entertaining stuff in the Sal's NBL tonight. It's a doubleheader, the Hawks and the Jets to come. On the other side of the break, though, we will pick this one apart with the TAB stats. Airs by 4. Back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Edgar Centre. Great to have you with us tonight on Sky Sport right across New Zealand, and in fact wherever you may be watching around the world through FIBA and ESPN. Hope you're well. Justin Nelson with you, Casey Frank alongside me. TAB stats to halftime. The Airs lead it by 4.
Well, they came out really aggressive, pushing that pace and finding a lot of freedom against the zone in the first half, led by Anthony Hilliard and Kendrick Ray, who both got hot on the offensive end. Withers and Harris leading the way from deep, especially on the Nuggets. On the rebounding side, it's a 3-rebound advantage to the Nuggets, and that's allowed them to get 3 extra shots in the game, led by Sam Timmons doing excellent work. But Anthony Hilliard not satisfied with just the offensive explosion, getting it done on the glass as well. Carlin Davidson, leading rebounder for the Airs, backing up nicely in the assist game. Twice as many assists for the Nuggets, 10-5 as a total. Richie Roger leading the way with 2, but it's a little bit more evenly balanced for the Nuggies. Not a lot of defense for either team, just the 1 block for each side. 4 steals for the Nuggets, a little bit more action there compared to the Airs, who have only just forced the 1 turnover in total. Matt Bardsley, the leader there with 2. The slippery eel strikes again.
Well, an interesting stat that won't show up there is the TAB stripe. The Airs 9 of 10 tonight from the coloured stripe. The Nuggets 9 of 15. Halftime here, the Airs lead it by 4. Second half not too far away. Big crowd tonight, great to see such numbers out. Chilly conditions outside, but nice and warm at the Edgar Centre. Final home game of the season for the Nuggets before, of course, they head to the Sal's NBL Final 6. Hope you can join us next week from Thursday night when the top 6 teams go head-to-head and we look to crown the 2023 champion. Back with the third quarter right after the break. Don't go away. It's a Saturday night in the NZNBL, another big doubleheader. Ayers lead the Nuggets by 4 at the half here. Coming up soon, the Hawks and the Jets. And the regular season will be completed tomorrow when the Giants take on the Sharks, followed by the Tuatara and the Saints. Hope you can join us for that game, or those games. In fact, it'll be another wall-to-wall basketball afternoon and evening tomorrow, because the Pauakai also take on the Phi in Rapid League and To'ihi. So lots of hoops.
There you go. End the school holidays on the couch. Watch that bouncing ball go up and down all afternoon long. That's the way to finish it. And down here in Dunedin.
Mac the Miner has seriously dropped about 40 kgs this season. He has been working overtime, Mac the Miner.
Times are tough, you know. You got to change those protein-rich diets and a little bit more carbs. And maybe Mac's gone into the sauna a few times. He's now a keto guy, looking for a different look. Can't bulk all the time like you, Justin.
No, you're right. The kids don't care, that's for sure. They're enjoying it here this evening. Heading into the second half, Ayers lead it by 4. They're just here to take a free swing. Their season ends tonight. The Nuggets, of course, have bigger fish to fry. What are your thoughts heading into this second half?
Well, Taranaki's going to continue to, I think, look to push that pressure on offense, especially in transition. They found some nice activity getting that ball into the high post and kicking back out for shooters. For the Nuggets, to me, it's all about defense. If they're able to lift that level of focus and intensity on that end, they can disrupt this Ayers team and find some fast break activity of their own. And then, you know, as always with the Nugs, it comes down to that three-point shot. If they can find that stroke, right now just shooting 22%, 4 for 18. When they get up towards 35% and above, they're near unbeatable because their defense is so potent. And when you get that volume on the three-point line up above the opposition, they're in great shape right now. They've made 4 in the first half. Taranaki's made 6 out of 16 at 37%, and that's pretty much the difference in the score sheet right now.
We know the Nuggets and Tuatara will go into the final 6 as the top 2 ranked teams. Outside of those 2, that next 4, as the Nuggets did last year, they came from that next 4 to win the title. Out of that next 4, Rams, Bulls, Saints, and either the Hawks or the Giants, who would be the least surprised to you to go all the way and win the title?
The least surprise, I mean, I probably Canterbury. You know, they've been the closest to the level. They had a stretch early in the season. Now they've gone through a bit of strife and turbulence in their lineup as well, without Ty Wynyard.
Looked good again last night against the Bulls.
But they do, to me, look like they're as close as any of those other 6 to 4 teams in that top 6 to those top 2.
It's all ahead of us. Next week, every game live on Sky Sport, and of course, the grand final also live on Prime. Hope you can join us. Back underway here. Second half has started. Terrific pass, Michael Harris to Sam Timmins.
And drops it into the breadbasket perfectly. Sam Timmins with the easy finish afterwards. Nice little two-man game, getting that ball over to that weak side.
Just the start the Nuggets wanted to this second half. Here's Kendrick Ray. Hilliard now backs it out. Solid screen by Rossetto. Hilliard with the shot. Rebound. Withers quickly. Harris. They move. They run. Again quickly. Timmins. Harris. Timmins gets it to go.
Well, I thought Timmins might have shuffled the feet a little bit, but the reverse layup pays dividends. Tied ball game after a nice transition activity from Harris to Timmins.
Timmins 10.7 rebounds on the TAB stat sheet.
Excellent challenge by Todd Withers there. Initiates the break the other way. He's got some angles.
Here's McCulloch. In and out of trouble. Pulls up at the TAB. Almost got it to drop.
Well, that looked like it was going to drop. Had the measure nicely. But instead, we're deadlocked at 55 still.
6 rebounds tonight so far for Cullen Davison. Here he is. Inside, outside work here from the Ayers. Ray. Davison getting up, trying to tip it back in. Harris just knows one speed at the moment tonight again. Quickly up the floor. Roger holds up McCulloch. Webster settles it down. Now makes his way to the basket, draws the foul on Big Anzac. And Webster will head to the TAB.
They're going to be attempt number 16 and 17 for the Nuggets compared to 10 for the Naki. And Ty Webster understands how to find that body coming off the screen. And Zach's kind of a no man's land. He just dribbles right into it. He doesn't commit further enough to force that angle off the rim, and he's not out of the way enough to keep himself from entertaining that contact from Webster on the drive. Hits the first.
1 of 3 tonight from the stripe. 8 points in the game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for Ty Webster.
Just going about his business, looking like he is going to be in fine form when Tall Blacks camp starts shortly.
This, of course, is his 5th game for the Nuggets to qualify for the finals. In his previous 4, averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 6 assists. So he has certainly added some spark to this team. Still without Ja'Cory McLaughlin. Steele, Harris, slick hands against Ray. Webster, catch, quickly in from the wing. Did he draw the foul? No whistle. Ball back with Harris now. He goes up off the glass.
Well, got lost in translation during that scramble defensively. Nice effort by Webster to get it to Harris for that finish.
Nuggets down by 4 at the half, up by 4 right now. Hilliard, little floater doesn't go. Battle off the glass again, loose ball. That came off the hand of Webster.
Carlin Davidson, more work on the glass, retrieving possession, gets the first, nearly gets the second. His own teammate knocks it away, but knocked off one of the limbs of the Nuggets afterwards.
There's a good shot of Ja'Cory McLaughlin sitting behind coach Brent Matahade. Certainly doesn't look like he's about to step onto the floor next week in the final 6.
All about keeping that knee from moving when you're wearing one of those. Trying to let something rest.
Ray made it tough, but gets the roll.
Touches every bit of the rim after that big second step. Enables him to avoid the defensive effort of Michael Harris.
He's got 15 now. Davison nowhere to go. Cannons into Webster. I reckon he actually got the shot up in time. He's explaining that right now.
I think the officials get it right there. When he hesitated, the contact hit, and then he went up. He wasn't up into the shooting motion until after the contact. So that little pause, he hits, and then he kind of lifts. It's just a little half second there from one action to the other. And I think the right whistle blown in this case.
Is that a natural smile from Ty Webster or a sarcastic smile?
They're all natural. He's happy about everything.
Travel call. So they turn it over, the Nuggets.
Big swing there on that play, looking at a possible 3 free throws. Instead, Taranaki has the fortuitous turnover go their way. And a chance to close the lead.
Here's Roger. Put down a couple of really nice shots early. Ray miss. Withers gets up with those big clutches. Strong rebounder is Todd Withers. Down to Timmins. Everyone clears out. They let Timmins and Rossetto duel it out themselves. And it will be Anzac Rossetto with the win.
Sam Timmins, he was there on that hook shot early. Could have taken the first one. The step through just actually made it more difficult for him.
Davison finds Hilliard. Rossetto gets it back. Tough pass looking for Richie Roger. Steele, Withers.
Sloppy, but stays in possession. Michael Harris slows things down and then speeds things up.
And he does that so well, doesn't he, Michael Harris?
Well, that change in speed is a killer. You know, it doesn't matter if you're not the fastest guy, which Harris might be on the court, but if you're able to go from 0 to your 100 very quickly, that is what gets you open.
He has 14 now to go with 5 assists and 4 rebounds, Michael Harris.
Speaking of change in speed, Kendrick Ray, little crossover and explodes at the rim. Todd Withers around there, foul called. Todd Withers just found out that it was on him there as it gets announced on the loudspeaker. He's looking around to see, was there someone else next to me?
Is there anyone else here called Todd Withers? Might be asking the crowd now.
There's no official there. He's just talking to somebody in the crowd. Is this on me? What are we talking about?
Oh, the corporates would know, wouldn't they? On the corporate tables, they'll know.
Well, everybody's got an opinion. Might as well share it.
Talking of Michael Harris's speed up and down the floor. I'm just trying to think across the Sal's NBL and who would match him. Jared Weeks is pretty quick.
Weeks, he has a nice bit of speed, pushing that in transition.
Any others come to mind?
Daron Arukawa, I think when he's pushing that ball, he's got that sort of top-level speed.
Feels like he's been carrying a bit of a hip injury the last couple of years.
Ricky McGill at top speed, he's another one that I would say is still in there.
Javion Blake at the Jets.
Absolutely. And you know, the point guards for the Saints as well, Kyle Ladman.
Oh, look at that, Todd Withers. Well, that's the way you answer a foul that you're a little bit confused by. Just steps back the other way and drains the big triple.
15 points now for Todd Withers. His offense has looked smooth all afternoon. Foul called there. Withers now 5 for 9 from the field for that 15. 2 for 5 from deep.
Midway through the third, Nuggets out to a 5-point lead.
Hilliard and Kendrick Ray on identical lines right now. 13 points apiece, 5 for 11 each from the field.
Inbound, Richie Roger, nice work down low.
Taranaki is not going quietly into the night.
Well, they want to finish with a win. Make no mistake about that.
Blew the bunny. Nice delivery there. Andrew, I think, may have just mistimed his leap. Might have been thinking dunk. Instead, had to get the layup.
Here's Fletcher. Missed a big chunk of the season with an ankle injury. Davison will let fly, and he'll make. You might notice some surprise in my voice because so far this season, beyond the arc, Cullen Davison has been shooting at 8%.
Well, that certainly looked like a better than 8% stroke there as McCulloch comes back with it, can't find it, but Davison shooting with confidence on one end.
Pass inside to Bailey. How about that from Anthony Hilliard?
Nice pass, nice catch in traffic, multiple defenders around, corrals it, gets the steps for the layup.
And just like that, the Airs are up by 2.
And just like that, the Nuggets offense has lost some of that flow, getting a little quick with that trigger. And that's enabling Taranaki to have short defensive possessions and long ones on the other end.
Bailey, pass, Roger. Stepping into the side was Darcy Knox.
I think actually McCulloch might got hit with that one because he stepped in from the weak side corner trying to deter the layup. Knocks a little out of position, enabling Hilliard to head to the line and, or sorry, pardon me, Richie Roger to head to the line and double up this 2-point lead the Taranaki's enjoying.
It feels like it's been a really quick game tonight.
A lot of pace, a lot of up and down, no doubt about it. There's a freedom of movement that maybe you wouldn't expect to be seen if both these teams had something significant on the line.
Deposit 10 for a $50 bonus bet. Join the TAB today. T's and C's apply. R18, and of course, please bet responsibly. Sal's NBL official stats partner, the TAB. Here's Todd Withers.
Finding the range up to 18 points. And his third three-pointer of the ball game.
Fletcher over Andrew. Oh, Davison was up so strong there. Almost knocked back on his backside. Up and under the slippery eel. Matthew Bardsley, that would have been a basket as well.
Just a bit too much English. Had a little bit more space than I think he understood.
Davison runs into Knox. Now Hilliard on the turn. He goes at it. Is there a block there from behind? Maybe a foul in front. Bardsley and Webster both involved.
We're seeing a little bit of passion from both teams defensively as we're getting down the stretch here. And both squads out on the court can taste that victory just out of their grasp right now, but getting closer with every ticking second.
Todd Withers going at just a tick under 4 triples a game this season, 42%. And from what we saw last season, Casey, it just seems to be another weapon that he's added to his artillery.
Well, he's always had that ability of streakiness. I think he's become a little bit more consistent with it this season, even though he still has those up and down games. I think also there's been a bit more of an offensive load put on his shoulders with the lineup compared to last year, where, let's not forget, he missed a lot of time with injury last year as well, so always tough to find that stroke. But down the stretch in the finals, that's really when we saw the best of his play last season, especially both ways.
Here's Webster. Hilliard, great hand, flicked it over to Fletcher. Now they're on the move again, stepping in front of Hilliard, picked up by Harris.
Yeah, unfortunate turnover there, just trying to a bit too much, and they might pay the price. They do not, though.
Heat check there for Todd Withers. Well and truly deserved and earned. Hilliard again looking scrappy, found Telfer. Harris, another hand, picked up by Barnsley. How good has this man, Michael Harris, been?
He really reads those weak side passing lanes so well, and that explosiveness we talk about on offense comes in well when you're jumping those lanes, as we see from Quentin Bailey there. Not enough of a strong seal there by Timmins, enabling him to get around.
We'll go to the TAB stat sheet in a moment because the turnovers are racking up as Bailey slips through all the way to the basket.
Well, nice movement without the basketball. Gets high, finishes with an explosion off that free throw line catch as Taranaki is back in control up 5.
Withers rips and goes. There's a foul there. Might have been off the ball, in fact. It will be on Quentin Bailey. Turnovers tonight, surprisingly. Felt like there'd been a few more. They have come on thick and fast, though, in the last couple of minutes.
A bit more freedom up and down as they're pushing that pace.
Webster in and out from range. Ayres back out by 5. Nuggets had the better of the opening half of this quarter. Ayres finishing strongly.
Is that a travel call there? Oh, illegal screen.
Offensive foul.
Kendrick Ray tries to get into the activity, but the space he felt was created because a bit too much body.
He's been involved in plenty tonight, Kendrick Ray. Webster on the reverse. Timmins comes through.
Timmins takes those 2. I think they might have been Ty Webster's, but nothing like a thief coming through and snacking a couple for himself.
We can argue over that a little bit later on.
All's fair when he drops in the bucket.
Pull up again, Kendrick Ray.
Oh, smooth. What's the whistle here? What? The chat afterwards, is that going to stay for Taranaki? Bucket counts.
Points are definitely good. You're right.
Ball's on the baseline, so it's Carlin Davidson's activity that I think gets the whistle. It's the basket counts, and I believe it's ball on the baseline. Or is he, Kendrick Ray, saying we're shooting?
Well, there was a foul off the shot. Sam Timmins was involved in that. Davison as well.
There's going to be if they're saying this if the foul was during that shooting motion away from the basket, it might be Davison with the N1. Oh, sorry, here it is. Quentin Bailey. So that was the activity was away. If it was after the basket goes, then we've got 2 shots, and that's what we have here is 2 shots.
Yeah, Rosetto and Timmins were involved in that. Timmins has gone to the bench. Rosetto misses the first from the stripe. And he gets the roll on that one. Been a little bit tougher for him tonight. Of course, the Giants, when they paid the Ayres a visit on Thursday night, no Avery Woodson, no Matua Maker.
That changes things considerably.
Oh, look at that. Ty Webster to the corner. Harris rewarded, no.
Beautiful move, created a great look. Nothing wrong with that. Lots of confidence, but Taranaki looking to build, and Ty Webster gets called on the whistle.
Just an update on Avery Woodson, who has missed the last couple of games for the Giants with what can only be termed as a serious flu. He's been very, very ill, and he has been named at the moment for the Giants tomorrow to play the Sharks.
It gives him a chance. You know, one of the premier perimeter scorers in the competition this year. Has been deadly at times from beyond that 3-point arc, and vastly changes the gravity of the floor when he's on it, with his ability to stretch defenses and open up those lanes. So just his presence, even if he's not at full strength, it's going to be a tremendous lift to that Giants offense against the Sharks tomorrow.
I'm not sure that too many people bounce back at full strength off the flu either, so he'll certainly be feeling it, won't he?
Michael Jordan did it.
course, he did it while he had the flu. Ayres.
No pressure.
Up by 8. Getting after it. Davison comes up with it. Telfer. Ray, and a finish.
Nice break. Good kick ahead by Carlin Davidson. Doesn't get the extra dribble, and then nice vision by Scott Telfer to find Kendrick Ray on the powerful dunk.
McCulloch stumbles over his own feet. Look at Fletcher keeping it alive. Now it ends up with Bailey. Oh, had Fletcher running straight past him.
No, that was as pretty as the initial break was, that one was twice as ugly.
Here's Ray again pulling up from what has quickly become a favourite spot of his.
Yeah, got to a spot elevated, but this is a big bucket here. The Nuggets were up not too long ago, now looking at a 10-point deficit if they can't score on this one.
Well, they were down by 4 at the half, up by 4 midway through, now down by 10. It may get worse yet. Late shot here, Telfer, that won't count. Off the hand late, and with a quarter to play tonight, the Ayres looking to finish their 2023 season in style. They lead by 10. Which way will it go tonight? Hawks and Jets not too far away either. Sells NBL action right here as always on Sky Sport. Back in a moment. One to play tonight here in Dunedin. The visitors leading by 10. Sal's super special for round 15. Gotta love this. The Nonna or the 5 Boroughs pizzas. Just $25. There's the online code. Pick up only. Block. Nice and easy to remember. And that's available until next Wednesday, which is officially the eve of the final 6.
What's your favorite borough, Justin?
Oh, good question. Queens?
Okay.
Good question. Surprised you asked me that, actually. You're a New Yorker yourself, of course.
Well, grandfather born in the Bronx, dad in Manhattan. Kind of partial to Brooklyn because it's on Long Island.
Yeah, Brooklyn is nice. Getting up. Look at that. Quentin Bailey. Can I return the question to you?
Sure. I'll go the Bronx. Grandpa was born there.
Tough people out of the Bronx. Tough people getting some blocks tonight. Michael Harris.
Well, nice rejection at the rim, and just the activity the Nuggets need to get things going, but another turnover as they just cannot hold on to the basketball this last 4 minutes.
24th turnover in the game. Short on the shot, Scotty Telfer. Here's McCulloch. Has got Quentin Bailey on him. Does he take the opportunity? No. Jack Andrew. Now Harris, turnaround. 3 opportunities missed by the Nuggies.
Making it difficult for themselves. Nice run, Bailey. Rewarded. What a pass right on target. As Quentin Bailey's activity on the lane gets him 2 points, stretches the lead to 12 with under 9 minutes to go.
Spoken about him a few times tonight, haven't we, Quentin Bailey? Oh, Ty Webster. Classy, classy stuff from the tall black. He's going to be involved in the World Cup in the near future.
And when you see that kind of activity on the rim, you wonder why the Nuggets aren't doing it with more regularity. Settling for jump shots too often, not putting enough pressure on the rim. Ty Webster turns the corner there, straight to through the contact, kisses off the glass to the TAB for a chance for three.
He has 11 tonight, and you can just sense that the platform that is ahead of him next week in Auckland is exactly where this man belongs. Front and center, middle of the stage, bright lights. He's going to come to play in a big, big way for the Nuggets. And he adds the bonus.
9 points the difference now. But this potent offensive capability of Taranaki can be tested by the Nuggets if they start to find a little defensive fortitude here in this last 8:45. They've got the ability to really turn the screws on opponents and take all the oxygen out of that room on the offensive end. The question is, can they do it? Settling back in a bit of a zone here, a 1-3-1 to really extend and getting those shooters on the wings in the corner.
Fletcher off hands, Withers, little touch on it, falls to Webster again. Getting busy early. Oh, through Ray. Just snuck in from behind, got a hand on it. Telfer goes to Rossetto, called for the charge.
I think he was well within the charge circle on that one. I think Anzac Rossetto pretty unfortunate to get whistled with that.
We're going to get another look at it here. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. What's your call at home?
Oh, it looks like he had the feet just above the circle, very close.
Was very close.
Benefit of the doubt goes to the defense in this one.
Well, I spoke about Ty Webster next week at the Final Six. Corey Webster will be there as well. And of course, as we know, the two Webster brothers, plenty of family and friends in the 09. So make sure you get your tickets and get along and see them in action at Trusts Arena. Here is Ty Webster. Shot not too far away.
And defensive rebounding of the utmost importance for the Airs right now with 8 minutes to go. They want to really shut down those second chance opportunities.
They're leading the rebound count 38-35 tonight.
I've swapped that 3 rebound deficit at halftime for a 3 rebound lead. It's Kendrick Ray hits a 3 of his own.
He has been a star tonight, Kendrick Ray. 26 in the game now. Game high scorer. McCulloch on the turn here against Telfer. Doesn't get it to go. Ray comes up with a rebound. His 6th rebound of the night.
Buckets becoming very difficult for Otago to manufacture.
Ray looking to add to his tally. That margin at 12. Harris. Withers. Catch. Shoot. Back of the iron. Webster gets after it. Fletcher right there with him.
Good board by Fletcher going out of his cylinder to find that one. And look at the pressure Hilliard's putting on the transition defense of the Nugs.
Now in the hands of Ray. 10 on the shot clock. Fletcher goes it alone all the way to the basket. Can't get it to go down. Harris up quickly. Understands the urgency here. A little bit of a hand check is called. 6:42 left in the game tonight.
I think that's Ray of high on the first one, not Hilliard on the second. Second team foul on Taranaki, and Michael Harris will get a quick blow before probably checking back in for one last push for the Nugs.
TAB stat sheet tonight. Kendrick Ray, 26 points, leading the way for the Airs. For the Nuggets, Withers has 18. Webster, offensive foul.
Oh my.
Not sure what that's for. I think Webster may just be asking for some clarification. How did you see that one, Casey Frank?
I didn't see any extension of the arm, didn't drop a shoulder. Tough to see exactly what was called from the angle we had. To me, first look, it was probably a defensive foul, but not the way it was whistled on the court. And things suddenly starting to get a little bit desperate for the Nuggets.
Well, we know where they're going to finish on the ladder regardless of the result. Do they put the cue in the rack? Do they play this one out?
You've got a couple more minutes to try and make some kind of effort. But if it's out of reach, it's out of reach.
Timmins now finds Bardsley through traffic, opens it up for McCulloch for three, and that certainly helps.
Really bending the defense nicely on that one. First the ball in the post, the whole defense has to react. That weak side pass by Sam Timmins, the defense reacts even further, and then on that penetration, it's all collapsed in there, opening up that passing lane for Bardsley to find McCulloch in the wing, in the corner, drops in the triple, makes it a 9-point game, and that's enough space to really pick one last push here in the fourth quarter.
Earlier today, the Southern Hoiho in the Tauihi competition took down the Northern Kahu 82-76. And in the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game, they also had a win 33-20. So an excellent start to the season for the Southern Hoiho, who missed out on the Final Four in the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi in the inaugural season last year. But boy, have they come out swinging in season 2023. More Tauihi action tomorrow on Sky Sport when the mainland Pauakai and the Phi battle it out in their opening games of the season.
And the season just kicking off for the Tauihi at the business end here in the Sal's NBL. The last tune-up for the night and day Otago Nuggets before they drop into the cauldron that is the postseason. And right now, looking a little bit underdone in this one. Not gonna be difficult to extend that winning streak into the postseason.
They are a team that knows how to win playoffs. Davison getting up. Highlight there for the Ayers fans.
Well, they run that action quite often for Davison coming out of timeouts, giving him the ability with the ball in hand to attack that split screen action up high, and he just explodes off of it onto the rim.
Here's Webster getting around Davison. Handy little drop there for two.
No, that's not an easy shot. Kind of off balance, his footwork not exactly where he wants it to be, but is still skilled enough to find the net.
He has 14. Midway through the last, still plenty of time here for the Nuggets tonight. Hilliard off to the right. Webster head up now, having a look at his options. Does he go it alone? Does he set something up for his team? Timmins wanted it. Instead, he goes to Harris. He can't find the bottom of the net.
Harris with that quick trigger there. Might have had the post pass opportunity. Instead, takes the jumper.
Now he's got to play defense on Kendrick Ray.
Got to get some help. There's Withers in the post. Not there on time.
Offensive foul on Kendrick Ray. He won't argue that. Pushed him out with that extended right arm. And the Nuggets get it back as Nico McCulloch steps back on the floor. He's been a handy mid-season pickup as well, returning to the Nuggets, went overseas for a while.
To be honest, he was my biggest concern when they lost him at the start of the year, what he meant to them defensively in the finals, especially for imports to not have that load. I thought was going to be sorely missed, and he has picked up right there on the other end where he left off.
And involved with Timmins slipping to the basket for two. They bring it back to 7.
Both defenders stick with McCulloch. I'm labeling Timmins to get that easy finish.
Roger now. He goes it alone off the glass. Put too much on it. Webster picked up the dangerous pass from Timmins. Harris, this would be big. Can't put it down. Short again. Now Kendrick Ray with a burst. Timmins meets him at the basket. Loose ball. Davison battling with Harris.
That's a foul on Davison. Thought it might have been Harris on the sideline there. It's Kendrick Ray trying to get up and over. Sam Timmins wanted the call. Doesn't get it. I love the boldness. Gonna take on the big fella. You ain't big enough to keep me from the rim, but can't quite get it down.
Not sure that Slam and Sam appreciated the 6'1" point guard taking on the 7-foot center.
Well, it's the right call. He just missed it. He got past the defense and unable to throw it down, but always trying to climb that mountain. If you're gonna be in front of me, I'm gonna try and climb it.
And in the bonus now, so the Ayers may lead this by 6 with 4 minutes to play, but the Nuggets are steaming home. Harris, 2 from 2. He moves to 18 tonight to go with 9 rebounds and 5 assists.
I think we're going to get a lot of scoring down the stretch. Taranaki is probably going to... Was that Joe Ahi came in, got the foul, and he has played, eligible for the finals now.
I did mention a little bit earlier on, didn't I, that he had to step on the floor tonight, so he did that.
I think he believes subbed out after that foul. I think they also needed to use a foul, try and get closer to that bonus in case they need it.
The entry and foul, forever known in the Sellers NBL as the Corey Webster 2 seconds. Here's Kendrick Gray. Over Withers, tough shot.
That's a big bucket. Solid defense, closed the gap well, but too much skill on display from Kendrick Gray.
Oh, and Withers, all he could do there is just nod his head at Kendrick and say, well done. Such a good basket. Classy players recognise classy players. Here he is again. Over the top of Webster on this occasion. Webster wins the rebound, cops one to the head. He'll walk the floor and go back to the TAB.
And those are just the kind of fouls that the Nuggets don't, or sorry, the Taranaki Airs don't want. No time comes off. Nuggets get to set up their defense afterwards, possibly press as we're going to get a timeout. Ty Webster lines it up and he'll have another look at it on the back end of this discussion with the coaching staff.
Talk us through the TAB stats for Kendrick Gray tonight, Casey, because he has been most impressive.
Well, he's been aggressive on the rim, 10 for 21 from the field, 29 points now, 7 for 13 on 2, 3 for 8 from deep, 6 for 7 from the TAB. Goes along with 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Only blemish those 6 turnovers, but putting a lot of pressure on the Nuggets throughout this one. A bit surprising, despite all those stats. He's a -10 on the score sheet and the plus minus, so doing a lot of work, but I think the fact that he's been out there for 27 plus of those minutes.
I just saw that. I'm going to add to that in just a moment. Sellers NBL Final 6. Getting some promo along with our highlights show every Tuesday night at 7:30.
Double up. Doubling up the screenshots.
Just to add to that plus minus. Have a look at Armand Fletcher coming off the bench tonight, 21 minutes in the game. He is plus 20.
Well, he's been playing with a great level of efficiency at all times, but a bit surprising to be plus 20 when he's only got 7 points in the ball game, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. So affecting things in a positive way with his presence, if not with dropping the ball in the net.
Mind you, Scott Telfer is plus 17 in under 14 minutes tonight. So interesting stats. We always like to pick them apart. Webster leaves the first one short. I'm not sure who he's blaming for that miss. He's a lot of fun, isn't he, Ty Webster?
It's a game, still got to have some fun. T-Web gets it back after missing 2. They leave Harris, don't want to leave him.
Withers, don't need to give him a second invitation. McCulloch gets it back. He'll go a 3rd time, 3 times the charm for the Otago Nuggets.
Well, he's got a lot of confidence. Nico McCulloch was missing some shots early, but he's hitting some buckets late, up to 13 points now. 3 for 8 from deep.
And just like that, we're back to 5.
Make it 3.
Webster finishes it off. Here they come, the Nuggets on a charge tonight in the closing minutes. Game on. Fletcher, we just spoke about him. Can he add 2? You bet he can.
No, nice kick ahead by Carlin Davidson, one-on-one. And Fletcher was just a bit too quick for Timmons.
He's got 9 in the game. Withers receives from Webster on the turnaround. Easy 2 for him.
Just deadly as a screener and the roll or as the pop. Got to concern himself both ways. Nice over-the-top pass by Webster to create that 2-point bucket.
20 points for Withers tonight. Assist number 4 for Webster. Richie Roger.
Feeling it. Richie Roger hits it from deep again, up to 13 points now, and a bit of breathing room for the Airs.
And he nailed some big shots against the Giants as well. He's had an impressive couple of games. Look at Hilliard all over Withers at the moment. What a battle that is. McCulloch now. Screen was solid from Timmons, who now fires for 3.
Sam Timmons hasn't had the most efficient season from deep, but he's hit a few big ones. One in particular comes to mind against the Tuatara, and that one brings him to within one bucket.
Forget about putting the cue in the rack. This game has just gone up a level in the last 60 seconds. Hilliard now, Roger back to back, no rebound off the hand of Webster. Harris has it.
In transition, they pull things back and look for a quality shot. The right decision here.
Webster too hot on the pass inside for Timmins.
And Timmins had a shallower cut than I think Ty Webster understood. He was throwing that up for a lob on the weak side when Timmins was front cutting the rim. So it had to be more of a bullet pass right at him for a finish on the layup. An opportunity goes wanting there.
Max Pierce getting some late seconds here as well, so maybe he has to play.
Fouls to give. I think they're just getting closer into the bonus. They're down 3 points and still 3 fouls to give to get there. They don't want them on their frontline players who are possibly going to play in an overtime.
I don't think what the Nuggets realised is Max Pierce had already appeared in 5 games this season, so by my notes, he had already qualified as he quickly fouls and exits the scene. 58 seconds to play. In fact, there'll be a little bit more than that. That's the countdown clock for the timeout. Airs lead by 3. Nuggets still have another foul to give. Maybe some overtime basketball in round 15 of the Sal's NBL. Hawks and Jets to come a little bit later on tonight from Pettigrew Green Arena. And who would have thought after the Hawks had lost their opening 6 home games of the season that they would then win their next 2 against the Saints and the Tuatara, no less, and be in a position to win tonight and make the final 6.
Well, the guys in that locker room, there are not too many outside of it. And that belief is what has enabled them to finish strong despite so much strife leading up to it. And 2 wins in a row, a chance to get their 3rd straight in the nest will send them to the final 6. The Nelson Giants can just look on and hope for a loss from the Hawks.
I guess the worry for the Hawks is Ethan Rusbach, who is apparently out with a foot injury, and it's the same foot injury, I believe, that has bothered him in the past. They have won without him. They win tonight, it'll be without him. Do they go to the final 6 without him?
That is the question. He's one that will only be answered by that squad.
109 to play. Airs by 3, but the Nuggets are charging. Can they send this faithful home crowd off with something to cheer about ahead of the final 6? No doubt many of these fans will be heading to Auckland next week. They do follow their team with a lot of passion. Richie Roger now pulls up for 3. Oh, the skipper has nailed a big basket late.
He's hit some huge ones today, none bigger than that.
Webster, Timmins, that'll go down for 2.
The elevation, the ability to pause it in midair. What a drop off by Ty Webster. Good movement without the ball by Timmins.
Let's not forget that Richie Roger won a championship, the showdown, with the Nuggets as well. Here he is doing some damage late in this game. Withers and Rossetto got caught up. Rossetto's called for too long in the key. Turnover.
He was in there for a long time. His teammates couldn't find him as Todd Withers slipped up high. He's grabbing his knee, and that does not look great.
Well, that's from that collision with Anzac Rossetto I just spoke about before he slipped to the basket.
I think it was actually afterwards when he got up and tried to move afterwards, he slipped down again. And so to me, that's looked like when he did something else. He was a lot slower to get up that second time. As the dance crew just dances around the injured player.
As they do. They got a job to do as well. In fact, it's not the first time I've seen that this season. I'm pretty sure that I saw you doing an interview for us. Was it at a Saints game earlier this season?
That is correct.
The dance crew there did not care one iota that you had a job to do that night.
It is, you know, if you're on the train tracks, better get out of the way when the train's coming through. And the dance teams around the country, they have that court booked.
Absolutely. They got a job to do. 4 points the margin here. The Nuggets are still in this game. The Airs looking to finish their season with a couple of wins and celebrate in style.
Now what's important here is the Nuggets have to go really quickly. I'd go for a 2. I wouldn't count on the 3 because afterwards they got a little bit of fouls to give as well. So if they don't get the 3 here, they have to get 2 fouls regardless if they make a bucket or not in real quick succession to enable themselves to have enough time on the back end.
A little bit surprised here that the Nuggets would bring Todd Withers back on the floor. You can see him hobbling here. He's clearly not 100%.
I mean, to be fair, that's his speed of walking most of the time.
Yeah, true.
He's never been fast.
No.
When the ball's not bouncing. He's pretty quick there.
Oh, and here he goes. Don't worry about leaving him off. He's created a basket for the Nuggets. They're back to 2.
There's the first foul. Now they got a second foul.
Timeout again. So this time the Airs want to have a chat. They will advance the ball. You would think when we come back, both teams still have their Sky City player timeout as well.
Well, if I was the Airs, I wouldn't advance the ball because you get the full 24 seconds. So if they take it at half court, that drops to 14 and makes it a little tighter. The Otago doesn't necessarily have to foul and get a stop. But it's the full court. While it does make it a little bit tougher to inbound and get it up, you would be able to just about run out the game.
One of the big stories in the second half of this season has been that man right there with the leg brace on his left leg, Ja'Cory McLaughlin, who over the first half of the season, it must be said, was absolutely starring across the competition, carrying that knee injury now. And there's been a lot of whispers, a lot of conjecture, a lot of rumours around whether he would make it back for the final 6. I've got to say, with the final 6 starting in just 5 or so days' time, it certainly doesn't look it.
Could be a magic knee brace.
Come on.
Well, you never know. could be a Mr. Miyagi style. It's of course players have to read their bodies, understand what it's telling them, and not having gotten himself back on the court, I would say also very unlikely that he ends up playing in the finals when the intensity is lifted up a tad as well. You don't want to go into that fresh and raw and not ready for battle.
And as expected, the Nuggets do bring it off. Sorry, I should say the Airs bring it off the baseline. There's the last foul to give. Michael Harris reaching in around Hilliard. So that'll reset to 24 inside the game clock at 26.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets try and force a trap here initially before they go to that foul. Well, they had a good chance at that one there. Might have wanted to wait another second or two, just see if they can't strip it. But instead, the whistle's blown. You gotta make 2.
I think Michael Harris was probably saying the same thing to Nico McCulloch then. I was right there, Nico. As it is, Nico McCulloch picks up the foul. Armon Fletcher to the TAB, where so far tonight he is a perfect 2 of 2. First one is down, margin at 3.
Yep.
68% from the line this season. Perfect 4 of 4 tonight. Sky City player timeout called by Sam Timmons.
A little surprised they're using it already, but it does save a little bit of time. I personally would want that one in the back pocket just in case something happens late, you force a turnover. But now you're going to look probably to play that 2-point game again and get into the fouling game. Look for an initial quick look at 3, crash that glass if it's not there. But either way, it's about not letting too many seconds run off that clock before the ball goes through the net.
Look out for that QR code as well through the To'ihi season for the Sky City ticket to the big game. Get your groups together, school, community, sporting groups. And with thanks to Sky City, you can head off to a big game of Sal's NBL or GJ Gardner Homes To'ihi. Ball in, Webster. Harris, deep shot, short on the ring, picked up by Webster. Did all the hard work there, excellent effort. Just didn't have enough strength in the end to get the pass back deep enough.
How about Taranaki on the precipice of grabbing a win? Of course, late in the season, we've seen them up by 4 points or more and lose tight games. Last season's final 6 comes to mind. But this looks like one with a couple of free throws here. They'll be able to put in the old chili bin and take back home to Taranaki with. one extra victory in the quiver.
Webster's night is done. He now sets his sights on the job at hand at Trust's Arena as Hilliard misses. Margin at 4, 13 seconds. Hawks and the Jets coming up. Don't go away. Stay with us on Sky Sport tonight for plenty of Sal's NBL action. The second one is good. Margin back to 3. Another timeout. This time Brent Matahari wants to chat.
Taranaki.
Sorry, I take that back. Margin at 5, I should say.
Taranaki, if they're able to hold off this Otago Nugget squad here, going to look at their 7th victory to move them up to 14 points equal with the Hawke's Bay. But they don't have the fortune of the countback in that matchup. The Hawks are +7 with 1 win apiece between the two teams.
Hilliard moves to 16 tonight. After that free throw, and the margin out to 5. So the Nuggets are going to have to manufacture something very, very quick here. And there's a bit to look forward to for this franchise. The Taranaki Airs crowds have been excellent this season. Yes, it's been tough with injuries and players coming in late, but given what we've seen late in the season, certainly optimistic for 2024 and beyond.
Well, they've caught the fever in New Plymouth. They've been excellent supporters of what has been a very entertaining team. Not quite the full-time results they thought they would get, but the finish to the year shows what the strength of this team can be, and we'll be certainly looking to build on that in season 2024 as they attempt to return to the Final Six. But before we get there, we got to finish this one.
Dying seconds. Nuggets need something very, very quickly. Out of the timeout, Withers takes it. Harris works for him. Withers, big shot. That won't go down. Harris gets it back. He tries to keep it in play. Rosetto should take it. He does, and that'll do us. The Airs will get the win tonight. They end their season in style with 2 wins in round 15. The Nuggets, their first loss in 5 games, but they have bigger things in mind. Final 6 for the Nuggets this season. For the Airs, their season is done and dusted. Quality win, good game. Let's have a quick look at the TAB stats tonight. The Airs home by 5.
Well, Kendrick Ray carried that load offensively. All 5 starters in double figures for the Nuggets, but not enough support outside of that to defeat a Taranaki Air squad that was playing well on the glass. It was a 43 rebounds to the Airs, 47 to the Nuggets, led by Harris and Timmons in double figures. Carlin Davidson, leading rebounder for the Airs, reached 9. Anthony Hilliard backed up his solid scoring night with 8 rebounds as well. Dishing the basketball, a lot of assists out there for the Nuggets. 17 held mostly by Webster and Harris. Just 11 total for the Airs, or sorry, 10 total on it for the Airs throughout the night on 34 buckets, but it was enough one-on-one play to get it done. Looking defensively, 2 blocks for the Nuggets, 1 for the Airs, and then getting in those passing lanes. The Nuggets normally so prolific at creating turnovers. They completed that again. Harris, as is known for in those passing lanes, with 4 steals. But it was the Airs, led by Scotty Telfer, Carlin Davidson, and Armand Fletcher, that were able to create a little bit of extra possession to get this victory.
All 5 Nuggets starters in double-digit scoring tonight. Just 5 points off the bench for the Nuggets. That's a little bit of a concern. The Airs tonight had 25 points off the bench. This is what's coming up. The Hawks and the Jets tonight. That's not too far away. Stick with us for that. Andrew Mulligan is going to step in and join you, Casey, for that one. And then tomorrow, another double in the Sal's NBL. The Giants and the Sharks from 4. The Tuatara and the Saints from 6. That last game of the regular season between the Aucklanders and the Wellingtonians will be played at Pullman Arena. So mark that down, not Event Finder Stadium, at Pullman Arena. And that game is also live across the country on Prime. But for tonight, the Airs, they go home victorious, and they've got something to look forward to in 2024. Hope you've enjoyed it. On behalf of everyone at Sky Sport, Casey, Frank, The Airs get the win tonight. Hawks and Jets coming up. Settle in, grab a hot drink. Saturday night in the NZNBL is certainly hot, hot, hot. We'll see you soon.